All right, let's go ahead and open up the doors. Hello and welcome to Daily with Doc. We'll get just a minute as the waiting room is loading into the meeting. Hello and welcome everybody who is joining us via phone, via computer. We absolutely love to see that there are so many people interested in learning about what they can do as an empowered individual to be able to help themselves, because folks, we're not chemical deficient, we're nutrient deficient, and unfortunately, just eating a good diet is not enough. So hello and welcome to Daily with Doc. If you are here live with us in the meeting room and you would like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, please raise your hand early. It has been amazing and fabulous that we get to the end of the show and unfortunately don't get to all the questions. So if you have a question, please make sure that you raise your hand early. That would be absolutely fantastic and gives you a better chance of having your question asked live. Now, the content of this program is to provide nutritional education information only on the importance of supplementation. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are the products meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any diseases. Now, the FDA does require us to let you know these things, but folks, the Creator created a body that is built on minerals, nutrients, not just to survive, but actually thrive. And when it's not in the diet, you will get to a point where you are just getting through the day and just trying to survive. Well, there is hope, and being able to thrive is a very good thing, Dr. Wallach. I know I appreciate it. And if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them. If there is nobody to thank, we do have an amazing call team that is standing by at 855-949-3377. That is 855-949-3377, or feel free to use our website. So our website is a great resource of replays from past shows. It also has some special segments with Dr. Wallach and pharmacist Ben Fuchs, and some special articles that are more targeted towards some of the things that are most important. I don't know that most important is the right word, but are afflicting people in today's society, that people are looking for solutions. And that's one thing that we are offering is solutions, folks. We also have a store on our website, which again is dailywithdoc.com. This is for people who have never tried any of the products that Dr. Wallach mentions and is not or are not working with somebody already when it comes to getting the products that Dr. Wallach recommends. But if you've never worked with anybody and you've not made any purchases, then that store is there for you as well. So folks, thank you so much for joining us again here on Daily with Doc and Dr. Wallach. For those of you who don't know this gentleman, and Dr. Wallach started out as a young child having some behavioral issues, okay? And he was observant and cognitive enough to look around him as a farm kid, see what's going on with the farm animals, and realizing that they're not having the problems that he's having. So he decided to eat what they were eating. And lo and behold, those nutrient fortified pellets that they were eating actually helped him as well. And that was just the beginning of an amazing journey on the importance of nutrition. He went on to college to study soils and agriculture, plant science and soil science, and then went in to become a doctor of veterinary medicine. That through so many things where he was strategically placed, because I don't think there's any coincidences. But when you're in a spot where you have things brought to you as a student, working when nobody else is working, and finding the cause of a mass die-off of lambs, and then taking that paper, writing it up, and then having somebody like Marlin Perkins find and use that paper to get a $25 million grant to then do conservation work that included saving the white rhino in South Africa is pretty incredible. And to have 3 postdoctorates in pathology, and through that find another cause of a disease that was said to be human only, but it was found in a monkey. And then to be able to give the nutrition and say, hey, I can change this, and get fired. Well, that dismissal from that position brought him into the human side of medicine and nutrition, and he went on to become a naturopathic physician, where he joins us today with all of those credentials and bringing information that we ourselves can use as empowered individuals to make for brighter tomorrows. Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for all the work that you have done and you bring to us. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because the first question that we have today is something that's kind of touched home for me. And I'm hoping that you'll take and use this as part of your monologue, because Carol is writing in, what do I need to take to get rid of deteriorating discs and rebuild the cartilage between the discs in my back? It's extremely painful, which, yes, it's an extremely painful condition, folks. And they say there's nothing that can be done except major surgery. I'm not going to go that route. Thank you so much, Carol. And Carol, I'm so thankful I didn't go that route either. And Dr. Wallach is going to share with us today what I heard 7.5 years ago that helped me with my back. So Dr. Wallach?
Okay, well, thank you for the history layout, and thank you so much for all the kind words. And of course, the human body is a wonderful thing. The animal body is a wonderful thing. And there's so many connections between all vertebrates, whether they're monkeys or gorillas or humans or giraffe, okay? Very, very similar things can go wrong, whether you're a giraffe or a human being or a gorilla or alligator, and you get the same problems, okay? And flesh wears out just like tires on your car or your truck, okay? These are living things, and they come and go based on if they're getting the raw materials to maintain themselves, okay? If they're not getting the raw material to maintain themselves, it doesn't take long to wear out. And one of the reasons why we have the book, It's All in Your Head, is because of exactly this question that she's asking, okay? This, of course, is page 6 of the book, It's All in Your Head. The top one is a normal skull, 1/4 of an inch thick at autopsy. The bottom one is osteoporosis of the skull, 1.5 to 2 inches thick, okay? And so there's dozens and dozens of diseases that occur because of that. The spinal cord is formed in the brain, okay, and I'm going to go to another set of pages here, 22, 23, and 24. This is where we're going to go because this is where the question sends us.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I got it.
All right. All right. There's 100 different diseases you can get because of degeneration of the different disc of the pressure on the spinal cord, the nerves that come off the spinal cord, and the degeneration of the bones, the vertebrae, the discs, which are cartilage, and so forth. And these are living tissues, and they come and go based on what you're giving it. And of course, when you look at the brain, the spinal cord is formed in the brain. Okay, the spinal cord is formed in the brain, comes out of the foramen magnum, which is Latin for big hole in the back of the skull, and then goes down to the whole body. And you've all heard of these diseases, and doctors really don't know a lot about them themselves, okay? And we're talking about let's see here, Erb's palsy, okay, quadriplegia of newborns, okay, numbness of the hands and the wrists. Let's see here, you get sciatica, which tends to happen below the waist, where the sciatic nerves are being squeezed, which is a division of the spinal cord, okay? The sciatic nerves, okay? And this is almost always misdiagnosed because most people and doctors forget that the spinal cord originates in the brain, okay? And you have to start way up here in the brain, okay? And then you're looking at fibromyalgia, atrial fibrillation, lupus, sciatica, are some of the more common diseases, okay, that doctors get wrong, of course. And then you go to page 24 and 25, okay. 25 gives you the solution to all this. Osteoporosis of the skull and the spine, Wallach's fibrous dysplasia are preventable, amenable, amendable, and reversible with just supplementation with the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids, appropriate for body weight. Absorption is essential, okay? And so you have to avoid the bad foods. And gluten, wheat, butter, and oats, buckwheat, all that stuff, carbonated drinks. And so we also have then the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Out the Bad Foods. So I urge you to get this book and look at page 6, look at page 22, 23, 24. It'll blow your mind, okay? Because these are just simple nutritional deficiencies of the vertebrae, okay? And of the disc between the vertebrae and all the pressures that go on to all these nerves, and it'll blow your mind how many different diseases there are. And doctors have no earthly idea. They just don't know. They will give you a painkiller, okay? And people are very grateful for the painkiller, but the disease continues to progress. And then they wind up in very, very deep trouble. Okay. Um, you get loss of the sense of smell, optic nerve atrophy. Okay. Um, you get pressure inside the eye. Okay. Glaucoma. Okay. Where the skull is squeezing the second cranial nerve, the optic nerve. Okay. Double vision. Okay. Then there's trigeminal neuralgia, double vision, strabismus, Bell's palsy, one side of your face droops, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, deafness. Okay, and when you have both of those together with vertigo, balance problems, and dizziness, it's called Meniere's disease. Okay, loss of the gag reflex, that's uh, um, cranial nerve number 9, okay, which gets squeezed, and you can't swallow, your voice changes, and all kinds of stuff. You lose your sense of taste. Gastroparesis, I mean, we're talking about pain. Gastroparesis, that's the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed in your stomach. But also, you get AFib, atrial fibrillation. They want you to believe that when your heartbeat is irregular, it's a heart issue. No, it's the skull, okay, and the vertebrae squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. Cranial nerve number 11, loss of the trapezius, the ability to raise your hand above your head, okay. 12, cranial nerve number 12, atrophy of the tongue and speech and taste and swallowing. Well, when you have cranial nerve number 9 and cranial nerve number 10, both of which have to do with the same subject, okay, guess what? You're in deep doo-doo. And the doctors say, well, we can do some surgery here. We can remove everything. Well, that's not the answer. The answer is to rebuild the disc, rebuild the connective tissue between the disc, and rebuild the skull. And all of this goes away. None of it is a permanent damage. Okay, it's just like a flat tire. You can drive around on that flat tire, or you can actually put a patch on it, or change the tire or something, and get back to a normal use of that car. Well, the same thing is true of your skull, your disc between the vertebrae, and of course, this is why we have all the products we have. And so it's not an age thing, It's not a genetic thing. It's a simple nutritional deficiency thing. You cannot get everything you need from your food. And this started really, really badly at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882. And Thomas Edison pulled the switch from the first commercial electric generating plant in New York. And for 3,000 to 5,000 years before that, we've been using the wood ashes and coal ashes as fertilizer in our gardens and spices in our food. And this is where we're getting our minerals. Well, once we went to electricity, we had no more source of minerals. And then things really began to fall apart. Okay. And so this is why doctors become orthopedic surgeons, because they're very happy to be able to help you reduce your pain. But we have the book. Okay, let's see here. The book is called Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, Hell's Kitchen. Okay, Hell's Kitchen. There you go. And it goes through this transition from wood and coal as fuel to electricity. That was a big, 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 big problem. Okay, prior to electricity, everybody kind of knew from the Old Testament about the land flowing with milk and honey. These were where people lived a long time and were healthy. That's because the land flowing with milk and honey, it wasn't cow's milk, it wasn't goat's milk, it was glacier milk. And you can go to chapter 10 in the book, Rare Earths and Cures. The chapter 10, okay, is called glacial milk, okay? Because as the glaciers would grind up the rocks up in the mountains, the rock dust would come down in the streams. And when you're standing down in the valley, it looks like milk coming down the side of the mountain. It was glacial milk, not camel's milk, not cow's milk, not goat's milk, okay, but glacial milk. And so they knew about this back then, but they didn't have all the ability to analyze the glacial milk and determine that it was really just rock dust, okay? And we do have some analyses of several different glacial milks from around the world, and some of them have 3 minerals, some have 15 minerals, some have 25 minerals, some have 50 minerals. And the ones with 50 to 100 minerals in it, these are the ones that made people live longer and healthier. So with that, it's kind of a place to get started. I'll turn this back over to Rebecca here in case she has more specific questions.
Well, Dr. Wallach, I want to make sure people know where to find your books. And folks, you can go to www.drjwallach.com www.drwallach.com, and there you will find all of Dr. Wallach's publications coming right from Wellness Publication, folks. So go to drwallach.com and you'll find Dr. Wallach's books. And I just want to make a note that Dr. Wallach does not get a paycheck from the company that he started. He has turned that all over to his son. He wanted to be able to make recommendations without somebody saying, well, you're only recommending these products because you make a buck off of them. Well, Dr. Wallach actually makes his money off of his publications, not off the products, and it's done by design. So, Dr. Wallach, I know there's a lot of people that don't know that. So I want to make sure that that's known as well.
Well, thank you for sharing that information. It's a true story.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, for that great introduction. And what would you recommend to somebody who is dealing with deterioration of the discs and having back issues?
Okay, well, actually, on page 22, 23, 24, and 25, it goes into that. But basically, you want to get rid of the bad foods so you can maximize absorption. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, and oats, no buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has phagopyrines in it, which are 10 times worse than gluten, okay, for messing around with your absorption. And then you have to make sure that you're getting the minerals, okay? You cannot get your minerals just by eating well, because we gave up the wood ashes, the coal ashes, okay? At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, okay? And that was really, really a downward spiral after that for human health. And so this is why we came up with supplementation. And when you look at the people who live the longest, like the Hunzas, their life expectancy is 120. They don't have any medical doctors, but they get the glacial milk coming down from the Himalayan mountains down into their valleys. Okay, that's why they live so long. And when you look at the various cultures and countries, okay, and you're looking at longevity, okay, I know I have a page here on longevity. Yeah, life expectancy, here we go. And you see this all the time on TV and the radio, where all these young athletes in their teens and 20s and 30s are dying of heart attacks and strokes and all this kind of stuff. When you look at the emergency room doctors in America, their life expectancy is 58.7. You heard me, 58.7. Our life expectancy for the general population in America is 76, okay? 76, some places it's 77, okay? Australia is 82.9. New Zealand is 82.3. Japan is 84.7. Canada is 84. Wait a minute, Canada's our neighbor. How come they get 84 and we get 76? Okay, that's because they have glaciers and mountains and volcanoes and things we don't have, and so they're getting all these minerals that we're not getting. Okay, China, their life expectancy is 76. England, the UK, their life expectancy is 81. Russia is 72. Okay. South Africa is 63. Germany is 81.2. Spain is 82. Ukraine is 71. Okay. Egypt is 71. And so all this reflects what nutrients are in the food they're eating. Has nothing to do with the quality of their doctors, because most of these third world countries don't have medical doctors like we have. And of course, if your medical doctor only lives to be 58.7, I wouldn't go to that medical doctor. Okay. Okay.
No, definitely not, Dr. Wallach. And something that, based on what you were just talking about with the minerals and the different areas, we have a question out on YouTube wanting to know about cyanide in bay leaves and if bay leaves are bad for us. And so cyanide is a mineral?
No, cyanide is a carbon compound.
Oxide.
Yeah, it's a carbon compound. It comes out of plants, and there's thousands of different plants, and they come up with all these different spices, some of which are good for making food taste good. And they didn't have ice boxes for many years, and so a lot of times the spices were used so that they could preserve food for a year without ice boxes, okay, without refrigerators. And so there's many, many purposes for the use of herbs and so forth. And so when you look at, so for instance, penicillin, it only treats 2 different gram-positive bacteria, okay, Staphylococcus and Streptococcus. That's it. Our colloidal silver, which has been used for 3,000, 5,000 years as an antibiotic, kills all viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. There's no alcohol in it, but the colloidal silver kills all those bugs, and penicillin only kills 2. So why is it the doctors like penicillin? Well, that's because you have to go to their office and pay an office fee, okay? And then you got to go to the pharmacy and get a prescription, and then you got to go back in on a regular basis and get checked out again. So the doctor gets 3 or 4 or 5 office calls when he's trying to help you with a dose of penicillin, where really he could send you home with your colloidal silver, and you could see him once a month, or not even see him, but just call him. I'm doing fine. I don't have a temperature anymore. All my aches and pains are gone, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I said. Thank you, doc. Okay.
Well, going back to like bay leaves have been found to have cyanide in them. And you were talking about the spices and the different spices that were used for different things. I mean, everything has carbon compounds. Does it depend on what's in the soil as to how much of the carbon compound is present in the plant? Or how is that determined?
Well, no, it's obviously there's a certain amount of that related to what else is in the soil that plant is growing in. Okay. And so you can have some plants where you'll have less than the optimal amount of these spices. Then you get the same species of plants from another farm 2 counties away, and it'll have 5 times the spice in them. Okay, because of the nutrients that are in the soil there.
So the strength of the spice within that same plant is going to be different no matter where it's at.
That's
So it's
correct.
hard to say, going by this question with bay leaves and cyanide. I mean, it depends on where that plant is being grown as to whether or not it's going to have a toxic level of any compound.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And then the next question that I have here out on YouTube has to go back to the back. And Ms. M or Ms. W has a daughter who has, let's see, she's 32 years old, 6'1", 145 pounds. She wants to know what can be done to restore bulging discs in her lower back. She has had, it looks like maybe significant fluoride exposure, which there's studies, Dr. Wallach, that prove that fluoride can damage the bones in the spine. So she's wanting to know what she can do to restore what the fluoride has ruined.
Okay, she's get a hair analysis. Find out really specifically what's going on here. I guarantee the doctor didn't recommend a hair analysis because the doctor doesn't know anything about a hair analysis. Okay, you cannot get the information from a blood test. So you got to get a hold of that book, Rare Herbs and Cures. Go to chapter 10, tells you how to collect the hair, page 272, chapter 10, 11. And don't forget to, it'll teach you how to collect the hair, how to package it. Don't forget to put the check in there from a foreign country. Don't forget a money order. Otherwise, the lab won't run the test. Okay. And then it'll say, here's all the nutritional minerals. Some are missing, some are optimal, some are low, some are high, and depending on where you're getting your food from. Okay. And it's not like a factory where everything is looked at and there's the same amount of everything as of something that's produced in a factory. Well, you're getting foods that are growing all over the place. You're getting spices growing all over the place. And so the amount of each thing, or even the presence or not present, okay, will be affected by where that plant grew.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And folks, just as a reminder, if somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with them and ask questions on how you can get what Dr. Wallach is recommending, especially if you or someone you know is experiencing back issues like what we're talking about today. Dr. Wallach, did you have your finger up so you wanted to say one more thing?
Yeah, I want to say one more thing about this young girl, 145 pounds with this disc issue. Okay. This is where at 145 pounds, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. She needs to get 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the disc between the vertebrae and the vertebrae themselves. Okay. And then also needs the collagen peptides. Okay. A scoop of that with the morning drinks, 2 of the evening drink. So it'll be 2 of those small canisters of the collagen peptides. And then for discomfort, we do have the CM cream, can be applied to the local area where the discomfort is, but it's not going to rebuild anything. It's just going to relieve some discomfort. Okay, you have to give the body all the nutrients that it needs. And this is where the hair analysis comes in, because you may want to add a little extra of something that's really very, very low or not even there at all. Okay. And so this is, you want to use the science that's available. Okay. And sometimes there's bad things in the soil where the plants are grown. Okay. And so there's the bad things in the hair analysis. Okay. Because there's a good food, bad food list in the hair analyses. And this, we have the herbal rainforest. If you have bad stuff in there, the herbal rainforest, it'll tell you how much per person, per dose, and weight, and all that kind of stuff. And you can actually get rid of the nasty stuff as well as increase the good stuff. Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and go to questions that we have here with us in the Zoom room. And first, Mel, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi there. So actually my question has to do with the canine variety. I have my family that's been with the longevity products for a while, been taking them, and they recommended a couple things. But I just had a specific question for you. My dog is about 6 years old. He's a 26-pound corgi, and he's had chronic GI issues just about all his life. And I've tried a bunch of different things, never really had any kind of solve. For the past 2 months, he's been having a lot of regurgitation. Took him into the vet. They couldn't find anything wrong with him. Then took him to the specialist, and they found out that he had lymphoma. And so now they're recommending I go to an oncologist. So he has an appointment and stuff tomorrow to see what stage he's in, but I'm like looking to get him started on a couple things. And some family members recommended Z-Radical. And I started putting him on the liquid formula, but my main question was, like, I noticed that it had grape juice concentrate in it, and I know that has a high toxic, very highly toxic to dogs. And so just kind of wondering if I could give him maybe the capsule formula instead, or whether or not
Let's stop there. Let's stop there. Let's stop there. Okay. So basically what I would do for this dog at 26 pounds, I would have it take 1 scoop of the Arthrodex in its food every day. 1 scoop of Arthrodex. Okay.
Okay.
And it has a big broad spectrum of nutrients. Okay. And it relieves all kinds of symptoms. Okay. Arthrodex. And don't forget the dog food that you feed the dog should have vitamins and minerals in it, not just table scraps and that kind of stuff. Okay, this is, you want to make sure you have a good brand of dog food. And you go back to the turn of the century, 1900. Okay, prior to 1900, the average lifespan of a pet dog in a house in America was like 4 to 6 years. Once they came out in 1900, with all the research they've been doing for years with vitamins and minerals in dog food, suddenly now dogs are living to be 14, 15 years of age because they're getting all these vitamins and minerals. Okay, so you want a good brand of canned dog food with vitamins and minerals in it, no table scraps. And then, of course, you want the Arthrodex. It's 1 scoop because it's 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. And throw that in there also. And again, we're looking to support the immune system. Okay, because when you have all kinds of bad stuff, whether it's a cancer or degeneration of the liver or something like that. Who knows? But you give the body what it needs. I mean, if we didn't have access to something because of shipping or manufacturing, didn't get the raw materials, I would eat the Arthrodex myself, okay, because it's so good, okay, as far as providing nutrition to support the body's ability to heal itself, okay, Arthrodex, okay.
Oh, you got muted. Go ahead. Try again, Emil.
I was just going to ask for the Z radical. The reason why I asked about it is my aunt had a cat that was diagnosed with cancer, and she gave her Z radical, and she lived 3 years, ended up dying at an old age, cancer free. So that's what I was looking to put him on since he just got diagnosed. And I was just curious about the grape content in there and if there was anything that I needed to worry about with that.
Nope. These radicals are good for people, dogs, cats, iguanas.
Would he be able to take the capsule formula versus the liquid formula?
Well, yeah, if he'll eat them, okay, or you can throw them down his throat. I mean, either way, whatever works.
He's pretty good with all powders and stuff like that, so I grind them up and put them in there. As far as like the capsules, like is there a recommendation of how much he should be getting?
Well, it should tell you on the label.
I think it says like 2 capsules per person.
Okay,
So
well,
as far as like, okay, so just
I would go with one. I would go with one if the dog only weighs 20-something pounds.
okay. Thank you.
You bet.
All right.
Keep us informed.
I will.
All right. Thank you so much, Mel. Great question. And let's move right over to AJ. AJ, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good day, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir.
So, Doc, I have Steve, who may be watching us on YouTube. He is looking for a complete vitamin and mineral supplement after he fell in February and tore his meniscus, hurt his back. His doctor wants him to have both knees replaced because of severe arthritis. And I told him that he needed to hear from you before he went and did that.
Well, he needs to look at other doctors who have other options other than knee replacement. You might want to get a hold of my book, The Wallach Revolution. Have you ever heard of Pat Boone? He had bone-to-bone arthritis in both his knees, and the doctors wanted to take his knees out. And we got him to, take our products, and we rebuilt his knees. And so he wrote the foreword to the book, The Wallach Revolution, because he was so excited about not having to have a double knee replacement. Same way with
Andy Young.
I'm sorry?
Andy Young?
Oh, Andy Young is another one. Also, our great, let's see here, basketball player.
Theo
Ratliff, you got it. Okay, he was going to have a double knee replacement also. We rebuilt him. Okay, and he came back and played for 11 years, made $100 million. Didn't have to have his double knee replacement like the doctors wanted to do for him. Okay, so you wanted to give the body what it needs to maintain and repair itself before you start cutting the legs off and putting in artificial knees and all this kind of stuff. Remember, the whole purpose of putting in artificial knees in somebody is to pay the tuition for the doctor's kids in college.
Okay, so Steve is 260, 5'8", and 68 years old.
265, 5'8", and he's 65?
68, yes, sir.
68, okay. And he has knee problems?
Meniscus, back, knee.
Yeah, okay. Well, he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs, get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and carbonated water got to go. And then 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose thing twice a day. Needs the, let's see here, 2, well, we said that brain and heart packs. He also needs 2 of the canisters per month of the I'd go with the what the
Maybe the collagen.
yeah, I'd go with the collagen, peptides. Okay. So make it 2 doses a day of the collagen, okay, peptides. I would also go with the rebound or sports drink. You could have 2 doses of that a day. Okay. And wouldn't hurt to let's see here. That's where I would go. Okay. Don't forget the rebound, 2 doses a day. And if you're going to use the cans, you got to pop the tops on them the night before you use them. Let the carbonation get out before you use them the next day. We do have the sticks. Okay. There's 30 sticks in a box. We do have the canisters of the rebound that has 36 servings in it. And age is not really a factor here. We have so many famous people who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, who are able to rebuild their joints, their vertebrae, hips, knees, shoulders, just with a nutritional supplement program and staying away from the bad foods so they can maximize absorption. Okay?
Yes, sir. Just another question.
Mm-hmm.
Laura out on Facebook, and thank you very much for that info. Laura on Facebook is wondering what she can do for her father-in-law who has cancer in the esophagus. He's 6'2", but she's not sure of his weight because he's lost a lot of weight recently.
Okay. Whenever you're dealing with cancer, you're dealing with a rough situation. Okay. And so let's just go again per 100 pounds of body weight. And so can this person eat if he has cancer of the esophagus? Is he able to swallow? Is he being fed through a G tube? Is he being fed IV? Well, here's a case where I would find out how this guy is being fed, but I would also use a story, which is in our flip chart, which is coming out here pretty quick, of Pastor Mike Freeman, who was in a coma for 6 weeks in the hospital. And the doctor said, well, he's only got minutes or hours to live. And to make a long story short, we had his wife and one of his members of his church, Linda Tyler, one of our great members, okay, rubbed just the plant minerals, just the liquid plant minerals on him 3 times a day on his chest, 3 times a day on his back. And in 2.5 days, he wakes up, shaves, and spends hours in his studio at the church telling the world about his experience. And the nice thing about it was he recorded it in his voice. And so we have, let's see here.
Praise the Lord and pass the 90, Doc.
Praise the Lord and pass the 90. I'm making sure that I'm holding up the correct one. I've got a whole
Got it up. I've already got it up for you, Doc.
You've already got it up for me. Okay. Yeah, praise the Lord and pass the 90. And so, and we were able to heal him just by putting those liquid plant minerals on his skin because he absorbs it like intravenous through the skin. Okay. And because he told the story in his voice on that DVD/CD, it's like crazy. Praise the Lord and pass the 90. So this is a good one to actually throw that to him as well. But see how he's getting fed. Is he being fed with a G tube, an IV? But the liquid minerals on him 3 times a day on the front, 3 times a day on the back. Okay. We're talking about the plant-derived minerals. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Doc.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, AJ, for bringing that question in out of YouTube. And Dr. Wallach, we have Ruth Ellen with her hand up. Ruth Ellen, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi there. I'm unmuting. I'm going to ask Jason, who raised his hand a different way than we could see it. So I'm going to ask Jason if he could unmute, please, so you can ask your question for Dr. Wallach.
I don't see that he is unmuting. I do have his question here, or do you want to read it?
I can read it, and then there was another. I don't have a mic. Okay, that's why he typed it. All right, go ahead, Rebecca.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, Jason is writing in regards to a male, age 40, 6'5", 252 pounds, wanting to know if there's anything he can do to decrease enlarged heart or help with thick walls. Currently, when on blood pressure medications to decrease blood pressure, no headaches, shortness of breath, or fatigue.
Okay, well, the heart requires 90 essential nutrients, okay? And this is one of the things that all these young athletes are dying from is just heart attacks, okay? So got to get rid of all the bad foods and maximize absorption. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And at 252 pounds, I want this guy to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of thing twice a day. He needs also to have 2 of the bottles of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, at dinner time. And it's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the heart valves. Okay. And then it also needs the Cardio FX. Cardio FX, go ahead and have 3 servings a day of that, Cardio FX. And let's see here. I would also use the Rebound or sports drink, 2 doses a day of that. And then it wouldn't hurt to do a hair analysis to see if there's something specific missing. But the heart has an enormous capacity to recover if you give it all the raw materials and keep the bad stuff away. The heart has an enormous capacity to heal. But if you're just taking a painkiller, or if you're just taking something to slow the heart down or something like that, you're not going to get the results you're looking for.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And next we have Michelle. Michelle, thanks for raising your hand. Your questions are next. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 80-year-old woman, 132 pounds, 5'9", tested positive for mycoplasma. She has been on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for 6 months and avoids all the bad foods. She still is having majorly painful joints. We just discovered the mycoplasma. What can she do instead of prescription drugs for that?
Well, you want to take prescription drugs to kill the bug, right?
Okay.
And then, let's see here, 152 pounds.
32.
132 pounds, okay. 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And the MSM also helps the bone marrow make white blood cells and antibodies to help prevent being overwhelmed with bugs and that sort of stuff. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's the MSM. 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That'd be 2 bottles a month. And then let's see here. What other symptoms does this person have? Does it have joint problems?
Major joint problems.
Okay. Yeah. Then I would do the Rebound also. I would do the Rebound also, 2 doses a day of the Rebound. And then, of course, don't forget the collagen peptides. A scoop of that with a morning drink, scoop of the evening drink to rebuild the cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then one more question. 7-year-old boy, diarrhea since the age of 3, extremely fatigued, no energy, sleeps and mopes most of the day. He has a 5-year-old brother who's completely different, typical kid. She went gluten-free, only gives the good foods now for the last 3 months. And the kid's toddy did not work, caused him to have vomiting. What do you suggest?
Okay. How much did he weigh?
He weighs 53 pounds.
53 pounds. Okay. Well, at 53 pounds, we need to get some nutrition into this kid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so at 53 pounds, we want him to, of course, we have all kinds of liquids. We have the Rebound, We have the kid's toddy. You said that made him throw up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And so what I would do is I would go with the I would go with the rebound. Okay.
Okay.
And see if that doesn't go well for him. Okay. But he also needs a nice big dose of nutrients in addition to the rebound. Okay.
Right.
And so you got to find something that he can take, either the capsules or the powder, something. He needs to be able to get the 90 essential nutrients. Okay. We've got 600,
Okay.
excuse me, we have 3,000 products. There's bound to be one or two that he can take.
Right. So for his weight, what would be like with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine powder? What
Okay,
would be
well,
the
okay, Beyond Tangerine, again, 1 dose per 100 pounds of body weight. And so
okay, so
53 pounds, you
half
give
of
him
that.
half a dose at breakfast and half a dose at dinner time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, keep us informed.
Will do. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Michelle and Dr. Wallach. Let's get one more in. Ruth Ellen, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello there. Carrie is on and she also does not have a mic today. Her question is, yesterday there was a discussion about stroke. Is there a preferred stroke protocol? My husband is 6 foot 3 inches, 225 pounds, had a stroke 2.5 years ago, went on the 90 essential nutrients, doing pretty good, but residual nerve has excuse me, has residual nerve issues, left side from face to feet, especially arm and hand, feels like constant buzzing. Nervous system dial feels like it's set at number 11. Still recovering energy levels, but on the go much more than a year ago. Still
Okay.
on high blood pressure.
Stop there. We only have moments. Okay. So stop there and keep doing what they're doing. Keep doing what they're doing. But also, this guy needs the I-26. He needs I-26 to rebuild the white matter of the brain and the spinal cord. And so let's go there, brain and spinal cord. I haven't taken, let's see here. We have the chewables, we have the capsules, we have the powder. I like the chewables, and he could have, at his body weight, he could go ahead and have 3 of the chewables 3 times a day. Okay. And it comes in, I like the French vanilla, but it also comes in banana coconut, if he prefers that one. Okay. And so I would go with 3 of the chewables 3 times a day. That's going to rebuild the brain and spinal cord.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And I just want to make a little addition into the I-26 and how to take it for best results. And that is, do not take it within 2 hours of eating actual eggs. And you don't want to take it with anything hot. So if you're using the powder, mix it with cold water. If you're taking the capsules or the chewables, when you wash them down with cold water, because the heat will denature the enzymes and the antibodies within the I-26. The I-26 has some pretty amazing properties to it that work on pathogens and work on that whole gut-brain connection. So I-26 is a great product, especially for those that are having, brain fog, brain issues. But like Dr. Wallach says, it contains 25% of the body's recommended daily allowance of the good cholesterol, and the brain is protected by the myelin, which is cholesterol, and so is the myelin sheath of the nerves made from cholesterol. So we do need cholesterol, folks, but coming from the best sources. So if I could get my co-hosts on the screen with me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Dr. Wallach had to buzz off to his next appointment. And we just thank him for taking the time to be here with us even if it is for only 50 minutes a day. We appreciate all the time and the knowledge that he brings to our program here on Daily with Doc. Now, Daily with Doc, again, is sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. We are a group of independent longevity distributors and health coaches. Most of us certified by the Institute of Holistic Health. And given that certified holistic health coach certificate that focuses on educating on the 4 areas of health, how they are affected by nutritional deficiencies, and then what we can do as solutions to those conditions and symptoms that are caused by the deficiency. So folks, if you'd like to know more about that program, whether you're a health coach or just want it for your own knowledge, make sure you go to Coach with Doc. That's coach with, spelled out, DOC.com, and you will get more information and be able to enroll in the course there. Each of the people that I have on the screen with me right now have gone through that course. They have graduated and have done a fantastic job at using that information to help the people within their circles, within their communities, and all together we are reaching around the world. And I just want to say thank you, Sherry. As you can see, she's got several different certificates in the background there where she has been coaching people on how to have better health since, 2015, maybe even before that. And she has added in the Certified Holistic Health Coach course to those certificates and really helping her people that she's working with reach desired results faster because the nutrition piece was really missing. And then we have our executive production manager, Ruth Ellen, here with me and helping us keep everything on track, watching all the platforms, making sure everything is streaming, and just keeping us all organized. I just want to say thank you, Ruth Ellen, using that skill that you have to help better the community here with us. And we have Phyllis, who she's been with Dr. Wallach probably longer than 99% of the people who are associated with longevity, as she and her husband, Andy, have been very instrumental in getting Dr. Wallach on the radio and syndicated throughout, and just real warriors for Dr. Wallach and believing in the message for, I think, 27 years or 23 years, something like that, and continually being consistent with it. So thank you so much, Phyllis, for joining us here on the Daily with Doc team and helping out in the chat and also on watching all the different platforms. You're fantastic. I love you. And we have Marilyn, who is doing dictation, and Phyllis does this as well, but taking what Dr. Wallach is recommending for each individual that comes on with the questions and putting it in the chat, which is one of the greatest bonuses of being here live with us in Zoom on dailywithdoc.zoom.com from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for using those skills. We greatly appreciate it. And then we have AJ, who is bringing all of his computer knowledge and streaming knowledge and helping us get even farther around the world using the resources and tools that are available. So thank you so much, AJ, for being the assistant to the production manager and all that you do. And we have Albert, who joins us in the wee hours of the night and morning in effort to really make an impact and a presence for his little corner of the world down in South Africa. Also a certified holistic health coach and really spreading the word in his community about the benefits of nutrition. So thank you so much, Albert, for being here with us, your consistency and dedication. You know, that's what it takes, folks, consistency and dedication, whether it's working on ourselves or working on ourselves so that we can help others to our fullest capacity. And one more thing, I just want to thank my team for reminding me of a program that I have tonight, and that is Q&A with pharmacist Ben and Becca. We will be hosting Pharmacist Ben this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We usually go about an hour, hour and a half, and you can join us at benandbeccazoom.com. Again, that's 6 p.m. Pacific time. That would be 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Pacific time, 10 Atlantic. And that's as far as I'm going to go on that one right now. But that's benandbeccazoom.com. So please feel free to join us. Pharmacist Ben is a favorite when it comes to digging deep into a specific concern. And folks, tonight we're going to be talking about the blood and things like blood clots and deep vein thrombosis and all of those different things that people seem to be getting. And hey, there's solutions. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here on Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes. As the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, a member of the Critical Health News Team and contributor, and also the trainer for Critical Health News Team and the Daily with Doc. It is my honor and privilege to be able to bring this empowering information to you in your homes. Please share this information with somebody. I'm sure that as you are listening, you can think of people that might be afflicted with some of the symptoms that Dr. Wallach or any of the guests mentioned. You didn't hear this information by accident. Share it with the person that first comes to your mind whenever you are listening. You can find our replays on dailywithdoc.com, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Amazon Video, Facebook, all of these different locations that you can find Daily with Doc. Just do that search, Daily with Doc, and you will find us. And don't forget to go to our website, sign up for our newsletter, as we do send out a newsletter that gives a description of each of our individual shows from the previous week and a link to it to help you find them easier, to make it easier for you to share with others, whether you are doing this as a health coach or just from your heart and wanting to help people find better health. And also the giveaway. So as a thank you for those who share, make sure if you are wanting to share or starting to share, go to dwdgiveaway.com and sign up for our giveaway. As you share, make sure you go for the platform, make sure that you're liking our channels and sharing with others, folks, because as you do, you earn points. And then for those with the most points that we can verify, I will be sending out thank you gifts. So on behalf of the Daily with Doc team, bye for now.